Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Simon Says Wrestling with your host, Simon. And today we're going to be reviewing Monday Night Raw. Before we start off with the review, I just want to send out my prayers and well wishes to JD McDonough. He took a scary fall tonight on the show. I think to a lot of people that fall represented that this, as much as people would like to think that it's just scripted and it's just grown men punching each other in shorts, this is real. Wrestling is real. These people do put their bodies on the line for our entertainment at this point in time. And having read the update which JD put on his social media, it was scary. Even when the incident happened, it was very scary to watch. And he sent out a tweet, and yes, I'm still in shock as to what this guy went through. And the tweet says, I'm just gonna look for the tweet here. The incident happened while he was jumping out of the ring to do a suicide dive while in the tag team championship match against the War Raiders. So at this point in time, I can't find the tweet, but it mentioned something about having a punctured lung and broken ribs. So well wishes to him, man, and hope he can recover. Well, he's gonna be out for a while, but hopefully he recovers in time to just get back up on the whole Judgment Day storyline and then see where we take this. But well wishes to you, JD McDonough. Get better soon, get well soon, have a speedy recovery, and we can't wait to see you back on the field and in the ring entertaining us. So thoughts and prayers out to JD McDonough. But now we can just start with the whole review. Monday Night Raw today was a solid show. We got teasers as to future maybe storylines or matches that we can look forward to and bite our teeth into. And we got as to where certain individuals might be heading into the direction certain people might be going into. Obviously tonight, Monday Night Raw was in Atlanta, Georgia, which Atlanta is known for its rap music. So a lot of rap artists were in the crowd today. And obviously with Netflix having partnered with Monday Night Raw, we gotta get used to seeing a whole lot of celebrities in attendance, because obviously now I would say it has been mainstream, but now it's global and it's been covered by one of the biggest streaming platforms in the world. So obviously some stars are gonna be associated with the company itself. And then once again, it goes back to the whole introducing a different audience to the pro wrestling company, which is WWE, and obviously its partner TNA, which then exposes them to a further bigger audience. We got tonight's show started off with Seth freaking Rollins, and he's just basically cutting a promo letting us know that at a time that he is in now, he needs to get more focused. He needs to be the Seth Rollins that knows that he is the best in the world, no pun intended on that one. He reflected on his loss with CM Punk, which is obviously a great motivator to just let us know that that loss is still the one that he considers a blemish on his resume. So obviously, to me tonight, Seth Rollins sounded like the Seth Rollins that came back after his knee injury, which he had that whole mantra which said, it's time to rebuild, it's time to redesign, reclaim, and rebuild. So I don't know, I might have gotten the order confused, but that's the vibes that I was getting from him. And obviously, with a superstar of his caliber, he sees himself winning the Royal Rumble. That's what he's hoping he will do, and that's what we're hoping, that he can get his shot at either one of the titles. So he also teased the fact that he might be challenging Cody Rhodes for the Universal Championship, or he might be challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, in which then it's any rule of any WWE show. If you say the superstar, If you say their name and if you say the title they're holding, chances are, if that person is a heel, they will come out and they will interrupt you. And lo and behold, Gunther interrupted him, and Gunther did what Gunther always does to any opponent that he might be facing going into a certain match. He just reminded Seth Rollins that he was once the man in this whole company. He was an exceptional superstar in the ring, and he's accomplished a lot of things, but it's 2025 and Gunther is that guy now. That's basically what Gunther was telling Seth Rollins, that he's not good enough to stand in the ring with Gunther. And then obviously Gunther just emphasized the fact that he wants Seth Rollins to win so he can challenge Gunther for that World Heavyweight Championship. And once that is said and done, he can embarrass him like he's been embarrassing a whole lot of other people. Obviously just threw in some Jey Uso jabs here just to remind everyone that he had won the match with Jey Uso. And as soon as that segment was happening, music hit. I put out the shot just before I uploaded. Just before I'm gonna upload this, there's gonna be a shot on my page. I'm starting to think WWE has a theme song problem. In the era that we just came back from of hip hop, and obviously Triple H looks like he's a guy who has his ears connected to the audience. He knows what moves the audience. He knows what demographic he's trying to reach out to pull them in more into the wrestling space. So it gets harder for me to identify a superstar if I don't know what the theme song is. If you remember, like back in the 2000s, the Ruthless Aggression era days, theme songs were unique and part of that superstar's gimmick or character. You could differentiate between The Undertaker's theme song, you could differentiate between Kane's theme song, you could differentiate between The Rock's, you could differentiate between Stone Cold Steve Austin's, HBK, Triple H, and so on. I could go on the whole day. You had theme songs that were a part of the person's gimmick and character which they were playing. When Logan's music hit, for me it became like, who's this? What are we doing? It didn't help in any way when Seth Rollins said, who's this? And it's only when they go to the Titantron and they show you that person's graphic that's playing, you go, oh, that's Logan Paul. So it's not just Logan Paul that has this issue. I would say Bailey also has the same issue. Chelsea Green, well, Chelsea does have that Chelsea Green intro, but going forward, we don't really know what the theme song is about. If it was to hit without that introduction, we wouldn't even get it. There's a whole bunch of the Judgement Day's new theme song is trash. It's utter flipping trash. I'm not a rock fan, and I've never actually been into rock as much. I've known, I'm not even gonna say that the songs that I knew at the time were rock and roll, but Linkin Park, some of the songs, there was one song that growing up, now it's always used to edit Dragon Ball videos. It's a song called In the End. So when you get songs like that, when you've got songs with a similar tune to that directed to superstars, the same way with how the Judgment Day had the theme song when they were all together before they had turned on Damian Priest, was a song that set them apart and then matched the character and the faction itself. I'm just starting to really think that WWE has a theme song problem, and we just need someone who can, I don't know, I think it's Def Rebel that's composing half of, or if not majority of the songs with the WWE superstars. And for me, I'm just like, we have a problem. We have a serious problem. It gets very, very hard to have an audience invested in a character or a superstar if we don't know who's coming out. It's only when he comes out that the reaction comes, and then this crowd starts booing and all of that. So for me, it's a bit of a, because I believe the moment your song hits is an introduction to you, to the crowd, before you even walk out of Gorilla into the arena. So if not, we're gonna have an issue whereby we just have dead crowds, and immediately when somebody pops out, everyone just loses their mind. So I think WWE has a theme song problem, and they need to fix this fast. I'm also having another issue with the pay-per-views main song selection. Obviously WWE does have a collaboration, I think, with Travis Scott, and if not with The Weeknd as well, because with The Weeknd, I think the past 3 WrestleManias have been playing The Weeknd's theme song as their song for those WrestleManias. I see now we've got Travis Scott for the Royal Rumble. The problem is with The Weeknd, obviously, as a performer, is very exceptional. He's one of the biggest performers in the world. He brings his own audience, which then will be interested, because obviously once you associate a star of that magnitude to WWE, you obviously get more people with more eyes on that thing. But my fear is that we're gonna start going into trends so much, we start losing the roots of what this company is supposed to be. And Travis Scott now is obviously for the Royal Rumble, it's 4x4. I think it's a song 4x4. The problem with me and Travis Scott is that for the past couple of years, his music has sounded the same. This is not a jab at how phenomenal and how great the guy is, but it becomes so redundant and it's become so repetitive. It almost feels like I'm listening to one Travis Scott song on every pay-per-view. The only thing that they've changed is the name. That for me is what starts to irk at me, and I'm like, how am I gonna get excited for this pay-per-view if I don't have a song that actually energizes and gets me off my feet to go crazy? I'm not advocating for any certain genre to be played, but there are certain songs which were played, rock theme songs that were played with this hardcore metal songs that were played with this Motorhead. For instance, with Triple H, he understood that Motorhead was what represented him as a character. So we have never gone wrong with hardcore electrica. It's not even like electronic music, but a rock music that had this upbeat, almost like chaotic, get ready to rumble, let's just do some crazy stuff. And so with hip hop, it's almost like we're losing that. But I don't know, maybe I'm just being a picky fan, but the music selection and the theme selection in WWE just really needs to be reevaluated, so we can just check this out and see what's gonna ignite the crowd to go crazy, to go on their feet, to look forward to going to events, to separate those shows that they're having to something to set the mood. Basically, a theme is something that sets the mood. So I just feel like with this whole partnership with The Weeknd and hip hop being incorporated more and more into WWE, it's a great partnership. But now I'm starting to actually see the flaws of, are we then now just making WWE to just be on level terms with trends instead of just setting their own, whereby they've been doing for so long? And it's just a worry that I have. I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting. You guys can let me know down in the comment section if you feel the same way, or I'm just smoking too much air and it's getting to my head. But obviously Logan Paul came out. Sorry, I just had to get that off my mind. Logan Paul came out and he's got heat on him. He's got major heat on him. And for someone that came outside of the wrestling circle to incorporate himself, and the matches that he has had has proved himself as an in-ring competitor. He has proven himself to handle himself very well when cutting promos. He still needs a bit of polishing when it comes to promos, but at the end of the day, he's actually playing a part where he is like, you know what, I'm who I think I am, and I can take this company to the next level, whether you guys like me or not. And that's what I like about Logan. And he has an excessive amount of heat on him. Like literally couldn't even get one word in today. And obviously he came in to declare himself into the Royal Rumble. So that whole segment Also with Gunther just Gunther just looking on both guys, telling them, you know what, Seth Rollins, I changed my mind. I don't want you to qualify. I want Logan Paul to qualify so I can embarrass him. So at the end of the day, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. The field is stacking up. Logan Paul was announced for the show, but I think we all got the sense that he would be announcing himself into the Royal Rumble. And obviously, with his athleticism, we can only speculate as to what he will be doing, what crazy stunts he will be pulling off in that Royal Rumble to maybe get, you know, his eyes on whatever. And obviously the Royal Rumble, being with that many competitors in one ring, it's a great place to start off rivalries, to start off storylines, and to study off matches. So it's going to be interesting as to, after the Royal Rumble, if Logan Paul makes it into the top 5, or maybe the last remaining 5 of that number 5 of the 5 superstars that will be left in that Royal Rumble. He will obviously be eliminated by someone, and obviously that might start a storyline for us. But for now, he's coming back and introducing himself into the Royal Rumble. And obviously going forward, we'll see. Because I think he has signed a contract with WWE to further then, obviously, I can't say that it's going to be full-time, because these guys also do have certain commitments. Just like I said with John Cena, we've been complaining that he was giving us a final year tour, but at the end of the day, he hasn't actually attended any of the major Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown that we've been obviously had that idea that what a full-time superstar is. So obviously the Rumble for me is going to kick off a lot of storylines and a lot of feuds that are going to go into WrestleMania, and maybe some past WrestleMania. And obviously now we're all set. All 3 of these guys have stated their intentions. Gunther is just waiting for the next victim to come out of the Rumble to challenge him for the title. Whether he loses it or retains it is obviously up to the momentum of the superstar that comes out of the Rumble, and whoever maybe is a runner-up that can. Because what I feel that I've always felt for a whole number of years is that with the Royal Rumble, I always maybe considered the fact that the last 2 men in that Rumble should be considered challengers for the WWE and the Heavyweight Championship. Because obviously now we get to a point where, for instance, we know that if Drew McIntyre does perhaps win, my pick, Drew McIntyre's my pick, keep that in mind. If he does win the Royal Rumble, his obvious target is going to be Cody Rhodes, because Cody Rhodes has the Universal Championship and he can obviously just fight with him and then take that story and get it into WrestleMania. Also, if we have somebody that's a Sami Zayn that could possibly win the Royal Rumble, because there's a lot at stake for him, given the fact that he has never won a heavyweight championship, he could go after Gunther. So I would always felt that, for instance, last year's Royal Rumble, Cody won. Cody had a story with Roman Reigns. It's good to see that he was going after Roman Reigns. If CM Punk wasn't injured, it would have been great to get that opportunity and let everyone know that I was the second last person that was eliminated. Can I then now start a storyline with the World Heavyweight Champion that hasn't been selected? I don't know. It's always been a crazy idea that I always had, that the runner-up of the Royal Rumble, it should count to something. But then again, the world doesn't remember people in second place. It's either you win the whole thing or you are forgotten. But yeah, that's how I always felt about that one. But now we have a stacked Royal Rumble, and obviously one of the biggest that we've had in a while. So we're going to go into that. We're going to watch with anticipation just to see who wins the Rumble. And once they get out of that, storylines need to be basically, you know, ended off. I always felt that WrestleMania was the point where a lot of storylines just need to be ended, and the new ones can begin for the new season going into the next WrestleMania. But at the end of the day, we have to have matches, we have to have progression, we have to have different opponents fighting against each other, so that we don't repetitively repeat the same matches with the same opponents all the time. And after the segment, it's when CM Punk was at the back giving a backstage promo, and Sami Zayn interrupted him and just wanted to get his thoughts onto the fact that he heard what CM Punk had said, and he took a snide jab at the guy, and he just said, you know what, out of the 2 of us, one of us has been a WrestleMania main eventer. And yeah, it's as much as it was a low blow, it's facts. Unfortunately, in the illustrious career that CM Punk has had, he has never main evented in WrestleMania. So I'm just looking forward to the character development that's going on with Sami Zayn, and the fact that he has Karrion Kross in his ear becomes a bit interesting to me, because everyone that Karrion Kross has come across or has had a feud with has either turned heel or turned on the closest people to them. So are we then seeing a test of Sami Zayn's character? Are we seeing a test of Sami Zayn's obviously loyalty to his friends? Would he be loyal to Cody Rhodes, or will he be loyal to Kevin Owens? So it's great to see Karrion Kross just playing the devil in his ear, just telling him, you know what, for once you have a golden opportunity to have the heavyweight championship around your neck, or around your waist. Sorry, that would be weird. Imagine suicide by a heavyweight champion belt. You have an opportunity to win a major title in the WWE. Put yourself first. Leave everyone else and just focus on you. In which, with anything that has Karrion Kross in it, obviously there is malice and there's a sense of heel type work that's happening with Sami Zayn. So it's great to see how he's being tested now. And obviously with Sami Zayn, we never really know, because the past 2 weeks have just been very, very weird for Sami Zayn. But at the end of the day, hopefully we just see this story play out with Karrion Kross and obviously influencing Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn at this point in time is stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's actually friends with everyone that doesn't like each other. He's that one friend that once the group has fought is able to just say, guys, can you just come to my place so we can play some Xbox? And everyone will rock up. As much as they don't like each other, they just like Sami Zayn. So now he's just been put in a point where he's been made to choose. Do you want to go with this group of friends, or do you want to go with that group of friends? And it becomes very, very easy, very, very hard for him. And obviously Karrion Kross, like I said, Karrion Kross is a maniacal character that just likes to influence chaos, confusion, and just violence all around. After that whole segment with Karrion Kross, CM Punk and Sami Zayn, we had the Judgment Day versus the War Raiders. Like I said at the beginning of the video, well wishes and prayers to JD McDonough. He took a nasty fall. I like the fact that Michael Cole also mentioned the fact that ever since Finn Balor had lost to Damian Priest, no one has heard or even seen him. So I assume maybe he's gotten some time off, but obviously going into storyline, it's going to be made to look as if like the Judgment Day is sidelining him and doesn't want to update or maybe check up on him. So obviously when he comes back, he'll have a bit of a bone to pick with the Judgment Day. The War Raiders retained in this match. It was a great match, great back and forth action. We've got Daddy Dom, the guy that's rocking the mullet, and I think the world's most expensive mustache. They put on a great match, and the War Raiders retained the tag titles. And coming back, it's interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see what Finn Balor does. Obviously, he might turn babyface, but it's gonna be interesting to see. And once again, JD, get well soon, bro. We hope to see you back in the ring very soon. At this point in time, we also got the second match of the night, which was Rey Mysterio versus Xavier Woods. Obviously, it seems like the locker room reader, Mr. 619 himself, is setting an example for everyone else as to how to treat the New Day. Everyone has turned on the New Day. Everyone has turned on the New Day. And it's funny but sad to watch at the same time, because the fact is these two guys will not admit the fact that what they did to Big E is pretty shitty. There's no other way to describe it. If your friend gets injured and you blame him for not coming back from that injury, it's pretty shitty. You're supposed to be there, help him recover, get back. Because obviously we all know what an injury does to a WWE superstar. We've watched the documentaries. They have fear that and if something as severe as a neck injury, that obviously the superstar will then fear that the fact that they might never perform and be able to put food on the table. Now imagine your closest friends that you've been with for 10 years blaming you for not coming back, for the doctors clearing you. You get what I'm saying? And it's so weird. But everyone is turning on the New Day. Everyone is turning on the New Day. I saw a segment with Pete Dunne with Ludwig Kaiser, just obviously getting together, having the fact that both have wrestled Penta. Ludwig just maybe telling Pete Dunne that we need to show this new guy how things are done here in the big leagues. Obviously, that was the conversation. Penta was there, was I think who they were referring to, and the New Day just came in through just to say, you know what, we also hate luchadors because of the problem they're having with Rey Mysterio, but these guys are not even having it with the New Day. It's so it's so crazy to watch. And like I said, Kathy, the interviewer, she's got so much attitude nowadays, and I'm loving the interviews that she's carrying out. She's just so spicy. She has clever comebacks. She has snaps back. It's almost like we haven't seen an interviewer like her have so much attitude that they actually express how they feel about a certain superstar. And I just want to shout out Kathy. Kathy, you're doing a great job. And it seems that even family is deserting the New Day. First it was Kofi Kingston's mom that flew all the way from Ghana to come get a front row seat to the show, only to turn on his son. If this is the one thing I don't understand. Why don't they just decline the invite? Why don't they just decline the invite and not come to the show at all? But they have to show the whole world that we are not messing with these people. We don't even want them. We don't recognize them, and we don't even support anything that they're doing. Obviously, in this match with Rey Mysterio and Xavier Woods, Rey picked up the win because Xavier Woods was distraught. I would be so distraught if my own mom and dad just wore a shirt that says that I suck. It's just so messy. Obviously, some of the points that we picked up during the whole LWO entrance, Zelina Vega has been drafted to WWE SmackDown. So now with Zelina going to SmackDown, isn't there an Andrade that needs a manager? I don't know. Could be overthinking it, but it would be great to see Andrade and Zelina link up once again to have that managerial as Zelina, and Zelina being the mouthpiece and the manager to Andrade, and Andrade just putting on bangers after banger after banger. Because at this point in time, I don't think Andrade, ever since he's gotten back, has had a bad match. I've never seen a bad Andrade match, and I just feel that the combination with him and Zelina Vega is what we need at this point in time. The LWO needs to disband. The LWO just needs to disband, because the other two gents that are in the LWO, let me just look up their names, because obviously it's Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega. Let me just go there, LWO members. There we go. So we've got the Rey Mysterio, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilder, and Dragon Lee. Is Dragon Lee still part of the WWE? I don't think he is. But with Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilder, I think it's time we maybe separate them from the whole LWO stable, because obviously I haven't seen these guys in a match in a while. I honestly have not seen these guys in a match in a while. I have no idea what they're doing or what storylines they're involved in. The LWO was a great concept from the beginning. Basically, it's a Latino world order. And but for now, I feel like we need to disband the LWO and just have these two guys branch out from the LWO and start participating more in tag team division action to separate themselves from that. Yes, obviously they are still learning under the tree of Rey Mysterio. Obviously, maybe there is some things that I need to be talked, pinched, and then maybe adjusted to the level of the main roster. But I feel like these two, Del Toro and Wilder, they just need to disband from the LWO and start doing their own thing and just establish themselves away from Rey Mysterio, because Rey Mysterio is a huge star, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what, no matter how much we want to look at it, if we look at the LWO, we're all thinking of Rey Mysterio. So it'd be nice to see those two guys disband from the LWO and obviously start their own tag team, and then obviously start wrestling for the tag team titles. Jey Uso came out with Quavo, I believe it is. Was it Quavo? Could be Quavo. Obviously just getting the crowd riled up with the Yeet chants and just letting us know that he had failed in the previous match against Gunther, that Gunther was the better man on the night, but he's officially in the Royal Rumble. A segment which was just done to get the crowd going, I believe. Nothing bad with that. We just have to have fun here and there. We can't always be serious and down to business all the time. We need to get the crowd loosened up. And obviously Jey Uso has, I keep repeating this and I will keep repeating it until the day it gets boring, but Jey Uso has the most over and liked is the same word, but at the end of the day, he has one of the best entrances in the WWE at the moment. So it's always great to see them riling up the crowd the way they do. And we got a segment with the Intercontinental Champion, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, Layla. She updated her bio on Twitter, and it's one of the craziest things I've seen. She basically just mentioned the fact that she had worked so hard to get to where she is, to only be referred to as Bad Lady. So yeah, it seems that the Alpha Academy's Ivy has a eye for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, and it was made clear that Chad Gable wants Ivy to win the title for him. No, I mean for the group. She needs to win the title for the group. Well, clearly, Chad Gable is still struggling with a whole lot of leadership issues and as to how to get his group going forward and not doing it for selfish reasons. They also bumped into Otis, and Otis was shooting TikTok videos. Let me just check if I can just pull up that video. Otis. There we go. Obviously a former partner to Chad Gable in the Alpha Academy before he got rid of him. And obviously now he's in a group called Alpha Babes. With Alpha Babes. And I have no idea where we're going with that group. What's happening? Is it just for short skits? Is it just for the comedical part of it? But I feel like at this point in time, Otis is going to waste. And obviously with Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree. So yeah, at times you just wonder, is it just for comedical effect, or are we actually gonna go somewhere with this whole Alpha Babes group that's been created here? Obviously Otis is a great in-ring performer. One of the I think he's one of the strongest and scariest guys you could ever meet inside the ring. And I just feel like with segments like these, I just question what are we doing with Otis and Akira Tozawa. And obviously I would love for them to have something sooner rather than later, before all they are remembered for is the comedy. It's great that we have comedy here and there, but at the end of the day, we are WWE superstars and we are here to wrestle and mostly entertain, but we need to have that entertainment as part of wrestling. Otis had been in a feud with Chad Gable about a couple of months down, or I think it was a month back, but ever since then he's just been in background promos. He's just been doing skits and he's just been having fun, so it looks like. But for me, I would love to see Otis back in the ring once again. And obviously something that we also noted down just before that is that Sami Zayn has been making a lot of mistakes lately. Almost looks as if like he's intentionally going out of their way. And looking from the outside, you can understand that it's a mistake, but when it comes to the people that it's affecting, it gets a bit sus after a while. After that, we had the whole Bianca and Naomi versus Raquel and Liv Morgan. And like I said in my previous video, what is Raquel doing? What's the plan with Raquel? She's a powerhouse, and she's obviously Liv Morgan's backup in everything that Liv Morgan needs. But what is Raquel doing at this point in time? And it was so good to see that Liv Morgan had pinned Bianca on Friday Night SmackDown, and then once again pinned Naomi tonight, which then obviously puts Liv Morgan and Raquel into the tag team picture. That for me makes more sense. If she is one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, then we have something for Raquel to bite her teeth into and excel and try to take everything to a next level of storyline telling, and how we can maybe going forward include more wrestlers in storylines so that they can also learn to grow and obviously take their names to higher and better heights than what they already are now at this point in time. During the Bianca and Naomi match, they threw out an interesting fact, that the fact that in the previous Women's Royal Rumble, Naomi was eliminated by Jade Cargill. So obviously we're still planting seeds as time goes by in that point in time. And I believe with Liv Morgan pinning the other half of the women's tag team, that should qualify them for what I can say is a tag team match. That maybe they can bring the women's tag team belt into the Judgment Day and obviously start rubbing it in Finn Balor's, Carlito's, and obviously Dominic's face, that the women in this team are carrying the faction rather than what the men are supposed to be doing. So once again, it's going to be interesting to see what's the plan going forward. Rhea Ripley is also just on the other end of the Royal Rumble, waiting for an opponent to choose her so she can dominate and obviously extend her title reign going forward. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to win that match. We also had another face-off today, which was between Bayley and Io. Personally, in the women's Royal Rumble, my pick, I think I'm just going to put my neck out there and I'm going to say, let's give it to Bayley. No, Bayley won it last year. Actually, Bayley won it last year. So it'd be interesting to see if someone else can win that thing. So I can't give it to Bayley because Bayley won it last year. It's going to be interesting. I can't also say Jade because Jade is going to have her own issues with the current, if they retain the titles, the current women's tag team champions. I'll go look at the field and I'll post who I think will win the Women's Royal Rumble in the comment section. You guys can just tell me whether you agree or not. And okay, here comes my second, I would say, rant, sort of like just taking what's on my mind. Hopefully what's on my mind can come out of my tongue and not sound like I'm just a complete hater of what's going on. Cenat made his appearance today on WWE Raw on Netflix, and Cenat is one of the world's biggest streamers. I think just behind Mr. Beast, it would be Mr. Beast, Cenat, Ishowspeed, and obviously other streamers and content creators in his field, in their field, let me say this. This is in exception to Logan Paul, who had shown obvious interest in WWE before making his debut into the sport. Ishowspeed is more of a athletic gent who likes to run. He had just had a race now with the world's fastest, I think he's the world's fastest man from the United States, and he almost won the race, and also showed up on Shannon Sharp's podcast and said that he would love to compete for track and in the 2028 Olympics. So I understand that we are, as much as we are a wrestling company, we are also a business. So in a business, money that you put out has to be returned to you in profit, and if not more than what you had put out. That's how you know that your business itself is doing great. Ishowspeed and Cenat, two of the biggest streamers, announced for the Royal Rumble. So if Cenat can have over 500,000 people streaming his shows, he can bring that 500,000, if not a million eyes, because obviously we have one pair of eyes. 1 million eyes on the product, it boosts up the rating and it boosts up the audience, and then some people might actually start taking interest in what the WWE has to offer and watch the product more, and obviously support it, whether it's either with tickets, merchandise, or just in any way putting more celebrities onto this whole well that is the WWE. Because the more we take out, the more we expect back in. And if you can have Ishowspeed, who can also maybe have 500,000 people streaming his content, and obviously takes those eyes and then puts them on the WWE, well, once again, ratings, merchandise, ticket sales go up. Now, like I said, I'm afraid that the company is gonna wanna fit into today's trends and start losing as to what and why we're here. As a WWE fan, I personally don't want to see Cenat calling out Ishowspeed on a WWE program. On any other program, ladies and gentlemen, I would be willing to put money on it, and then I would be willing to invest my time and my thoughts and my energy on that and say, okay, it's not in a WWE setting, it's a setting that both of them have. It's either they're challenging each other on a game online or they're streaming together. I would watch that, but I wouldn't want to watch them in a WWE setting. The reason why I'm saying this is that as athletic as they are, as young as they are, and as much as they can absorb information or physical activity as fast as they say they can, it's the WWE. We are going to take some superstars' time and give it to streamers. Logan Paul being the exception, the fact that he had proven us wrong. We had the same scares, we had the same questions, we had the same criticisms of him when he came in. But these are full-blown streamers who are known for a particular set of things. And those things, like till this day, I have never seen one video of Ishowspeed being posted where he says, I'm a Roman Reigns fan. I've never seen one of Cenat saying, I know who Cody Rhodes is. They might know them, but I've never seen publicly say it on a platform that says they are WWE fans. And for me, the ring is sacred. The ring is a sacred place. TV time itself is very sacred. The fact that Cenat got that treatment, he's a big star, he's a great star, but can we keep it WWE? If Ishowspeed is gonna call out Cenat, let it be something that's done at the back and maybe put in as a promo. But I don't want to see streamers wrestling on TV time that affects superstar that could be getting that time. Maybe it sounds like I'm hating, but I just really want to stick to WWE being WWE. Let's not go into trends so much that we start losing focus that this is a wrestling company, and when we have wrestling superstars that we need to build, once we have those superstars, we can obviously take it up. Maybe this is something that's in their Netflix deal. I don't know. Like, I literally don't know as to how it's going or how it's going to work. But I would really love to have that whole Ishowspeed and Cenat thing happen away from the ring. Let it be something that takes place backstage. Let them stream it. And I just want WWE to stick to WWE. That's all. And yeah, it's just one thing that I'm saying, that it's great seeing all these mainstream artists come and show and pull in an audience into the sport, but let's just keep them in a lane where they don't take up TV time just for the sake of entertainment, while we have superstars that could be on that same time and that could be doing something better, a great storyline progression, feuding, or cutting a promo that gives us more attention to them. And yeah, I guess that's the rant that I have to then take out on my chest, just to express it. Either way, it's still a business. I understand some decisions are made for the betterment of the business. I understand it. But as a fan, I believe that I can have an opinion, and whether it's taken to heart or not, the fact is it's an opinion, it's mine. I'm stating it, and obviously they take it or not, it's a business at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Such things, I guess we're gonna have to get used to as time goes by. Penta, got a video package, just obviously showing his time ever since he got here, and it's great to see. It's great to see. And then I think it was announced to be in the Royal Rumble, which is gonna be great. He also had a segment with Braun Breaker. He just basically looked at Braun's title, and Braun just laughed at him and said, "Hey my man, if you can take a spear like a champ, step up, let's see what you got." And it will be interesting to see how Penta and obviously Braun, if that's the next feud that we're going to be having in that instance. Paul Heyman, the other big news from today was the fact that Paul Heyman announces the cover of the WWE 2K25. And for all the Bloodline fans, there was one guy that commented on a video, and he just said, "We the ones." Roman Reigns is on the cover of the WWE 2K25, obviously having the hottest story for the past 3 to 4 years. It's well deserved. It's well deserved. I don't think there was anybody that could even argue the fact that Roman Reigns deserves this WWE 2K cover. And it's great to see. We're just going to see what the game is about going forward. Obviously, with Paul Heyman coming out announcing it, Paul Heyman with a mic in his hand equals ratings and equals just an awesome fun time. Basically just cutting a promo which says that everyone else that's in the Royal Rumble, it's one versus all. It's Roman Reigns versus the world. And I have a feeling Roman Reigns is going to get jumped so hard in the Rumble. It's going to get jumped so hard. It's too many people. It's got too many heat with too many people. It's going to get jumped. Drew came out after this, basically interrupted. Well, he didn't interrupt because Paul Heyman had made his announcement. I was about to leave the ring. Drew came out, and Drew made it clear that he still hates the bloodline. Obviously, giving a backstory as to how he's the daddy of the bloodline. How he's the daddy of the bloodline, and just still stating the fact that till this day, he's still got bad blood with the bloodline, and he wants them, and they're still on his hit list. And the Royal Rumble is going to be an interesting event to watch, just to see as to how Drew navigates the whole Rumble. What's his story going forward from there? It's going to be great to see and great to watch. And obviously we've got another match tonight, which is Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. I don't know, Sami needs a cheat code to beating Drew McIntyre, because the announcers did announce that this is the 10th time that Drew and Sami Zayn have fought, and Sami is just he's just finding it hard, very, very hard. Although Drew McIntyre did cheat tonight to win the match, but he's finding it very hard to beat Drew McIntyre, because at the end of the day, they're not going to say Drew McIntyre won by putting his feet on the rope. They're going to say Drew McIntyre won the match and has beaten Sami Zayn 10 times 2-0. And Sami Zayn is in a weird space. I honestly don't want to lie. Everything that he's doing lately just gives off, it's a mistake. We as the viewers see it and know it as a mistake, but he's just kicking all of his friends in the feet. They're eating halova kicks left, right, and center. And what's scary to see is the fact that there was an image of Cody Rhodes all the way down onto the bottom buckle, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn standing side by side, and almost Kevin Owens just giving Sami Zayn a fist bump saying, "Thank you, you took him out, thank you." And obviously it wasn't like that. But as Cody Rhodes, who's now starting to feel the pressure of being the man at the top of the mountain, he's starting to feel like everyone is just turning against him, and everyone has a reason why they're turning against them. And it's so I would say so great to watch a story unfold itself, almost like seeing a flower just opening up and just blooming. And with Sami Zayn's actions as of late, it's gonna come into question. Seth Rollins is gonna question him. Cody Rhodes is gonna question him. And I don't understand why Cody would feel that Sami Zayn wants to turn on him I think he just maybe might even look at it from a different angle and say it was a mistake. He was aiming to kick to Drew McIntyre's head off, but unfortunately I was the one in the crossfire. So it's interesting. Like I said, Karrion Kross is also playing a factor in Sami Zayn, being the devil in his eye, in his ear, just maybe influencing him a bit here and there. It will be interesting to see how that works out. And it's just a great story with how Sami Zayn, does Sami Zayn turn heel? Does Sami Zayn stay loyal to his friends? Does he still become the friend that everyone knows he can be? Or is he just going down a rabbit hole that he can't get out of? And after that, with Cody Rhodes being with his teeth almost halfway into his mouth, CM Punk comes out and asks him, "Are you all right?" Now, like I said, this segment kind of gave me an expectation that I want to see Cody Rhodes and CM Punk at WrestleMania in the main event. I do not want to lie, the amount of emotion, the amount of truth that was spoken in this promo in itself just spiked up my interest, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think this is the match that I do want to see at WrestleMania 41, and it could be a main event. But that would mean that CM Punk would either have to win the Elimination Chamber or the Royal Rumble. Preferably, I would like for him to win the Elimination Chamber. The Royal Rumble is reserved for Drew McIntyre and Drew McIntyre alone. So it was a great segment. It was a great segment which just highlighted as to what the WWE superstars go through in order to put on the shows that they do. It's the friends, like even what CM Punk said, it was a bit weird for the fact that he said he was Cody Rhodes' friend. Yes, he is Cody's friend, given the fact that they had worked prior together for the same company. I don't think they worked together. Oh yeah, Cody had just left and CM Punk had just come in. So they had never worked together, but they worked in the same company before coming to the WWE. They were friends, I believe. Maybe they were friends before they came into the WWE, with CM Punk stating that you are my friend and I care about you, but I'm going to tell you about the pressures that come with being the WWE Championship at the top. There's a target on your back. You're going to miss family moments. You're gonna miss the important moments in your family's lives. The people you thought were your friends are no longer your friends because you are at the top. You represent the company. And he made one very, very exceptional point where he said, I know you want to be the show out and be the man for the company, but no man is Superman. At some point in time, the body does start to burn out. And he mentioned his title reign and mentioned that on the 300th day, he started feeling that, you know what, this isn't for me. This isn't, the body's just giving up on you. And with Cody Rhodes, with the number of people that are literally turning on him, I think the pressure is getting to him. And obviously, WWE will see how they play into this whole, the pressure is getting to Cody Rhodes. Does he then start panicking as a champion, or does he then rise above that pressure and then become a greater superstar than what he already is? And as the show came to an end, CM Punk just made it clear that everyone is stabbing you from the back. I, as your true friend, am going to stab you from the front. It's just crazy that a friend would say that to you. But at the end of the day, CM Punk is making it clear that if he wins that Rumble, he's coming for Cody. He's coming for the Universal Championship, and he wants that main event in WrestleMania. And like I said, guys, great episode of Monday Night Raw. And now we'll just wait for the Royal Rumble, which is happening this Saturday. And hopefully after that Rumble, we have a couple of storyline progressions and just to see, and obviously new storylines that are going to come out of that. And we're just going to go into next phases, next gear. It's WrestleMania season. It's about to get crazier. It's about to get very, very, very rocky. And like I said, I'm praying that no one gets injured. No one gets, unfortunately for JD McDonough, that changes the plans for him. But I hope no one else gets injured. And then we have the card that has been set out for the WWE on the way to WrestleMania, that it's not changing in any way due to injuries or unforeseen circumstances. It's going to be an amazing Royal Rumble. And I will try to go live with that one and see just how that whole live thing works. And then we can just check it out and see what's going on. But for now, guys, just like the video, Comment underneath your predictions for the Royal Rumble. Do you think Jade Cargill will come back? We can finally find out who attacked her. Penta versus Braun, are you guys stoked for that one? Logan Paul, where do you place him? Which number do you think is going to be eliminated at in the Royal Rumble? Comment that in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, and then let's grow and enjoy wrestling together, guys. And as always, peace.